Approaching 15 past as we are watching what could be a hugely consequential meeting of the Georgia State Election Board. It is their first meeting since the FBI swept through a Fulton County election hub last month, seizing ballots and other voting materials related to the 2020 election. And now faith leaders in the state are raising concerns about what the Trump allies who dominate the state's 5-member election board could do next.
We will fight to protect democracy like you have never seen before. We will fight until hell freezes over, and then we will fight on the ice. We're not going back just because a dictator has some problems that people don't see things his way. What is the choice before Georgia right now? Because what happened in Fulton County does not stay in Fulton County. It also travels into Newton County, into Bibb County, Muskogee County, Chatham County, all over the state of Georgia. And what happens in the state of Georgia does not remain in the state of Georgia. It will go throughout the 50 states in this great country of ours like a cancer.
And joining me now is the Reverend William Bo Barber, the pastor of AME Church. Reverend, glad to have you here. So take me through the fears you have about the current election board. Yes, you've articulated well how it's not going to just stay in Fulton County, Georgia. But what is it that you're afraid will seep out?
Well, I think it's important for us to recognize that the issues that we face did not start with this administration, that we can travel back in time to an ideology that says the executive branch should have more power. We can go all the way back to the Reagan administration, and we can see that the fruits of that labor are now coming to fruition. So when we see what happened in Fulton County, it is simply a symptom of what is a greater strategy for the rest of the state, for the rest of the country. And the concern that we have is that we will see a further degradation of the voice that people in this country have through the vote. That is our greatest fear. Once we lose our ability to express the concerns and interests of our community through democracy, then it's all over. The fight has already been lost.
I was going to say that needs to only be a singular point of concern, because without that, we cease to be a democracy. But let's talk about the Atlantic Journal-Constitution, which spoke to one man, Del Walker, who was with a group at Birmingham's historic 16th Street Baptist Church the day before, of course, the site of the 1963 Ku Klux Klan bombing in Alabama. And he said, quote, he sees the latest events in Fulton County as another part of that ongoing history, telling the AJC, quote, I have to acknowledge that this is our time to say, these are our moments to say, hell no, it won't happen. Is that what you're hearing across the board, that people in Georgia are ready to fight? Or are there some who plan to stay home thinking, hey, my one single vote, it's just not going to count. It won't make a difference.
I believe that there is nothing stronger than a common event to bring people together. And the fact that we are faced with this destruction of basic American rights in Fulton County, it will only galvanize the people. We are looking for a reason to come together and to have a common goal to be able to uplift not just Georgia, but the rest of the country. And I concur with those statements that were made in Birmingham. I mean, it is absolutely one of those times where we are beyond the crossroads. We are already into the battlefield. And because we're in the battlefield, I believe that folks will not stay home. I believe that they will not relinquish their rights, but it will give them a reason, give us a reason to fight on.
Well, in terms of being in the battlefield, in fact, the president is traveling to a Georgia district tomorrow where people are voting in a special election to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene. So what will you listen for in his speech?
I will listen for any indication of further distraction. I will listen for signals that will actually give us information as to what the next strategic move will be of this administration. It's important for us to understand that this is not a checker game. This is a chess match, and that every move is calculated, veiled with the distractions. So I'm not looking for anything that is going to exonerate what has been the decorum of politics in this nation pre-administration. I'm simply looking for what is the distraction and what is the substance. And I think that that's what Georgians are looking for also, because we are poised to say, regardless of how hard it is, regardless of how difficult it is, we will exercise our right to vote in every situation, regardless of the conditions.
Well said, Reverend William Bo Barber. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.